Do you ever go to a thrift store after a while and you find that they hardly have any new VHS tapes or books or CDs? This just happened to me. I went to a thrift store that I haven't been to in about 2.5 months, and I saw a lot of the same stuff. They got a bunch of new records, which they didn't have before. They didn't have any records before, so that was exciting to see, but I only bought one because they were pricing their records either $3 or $5. So that was a bit pricey for me for records. Regardless of the price, I only found 2 or 3 that were possibly worth buying. One of them was the Urban Cowboy soundtrack, which they wanted $5 for. And I was actually considering doing it, but then when I looked at one of the records, it looked like there was a scratch. And when I ran my hand over it, I could feel it. So hearing from one other vinyl seller saying if you can feel the scratch versus just being able to see it and you don't feel it, then that could potentially be an issue and it might skip or not play, have a problem. So I decided to pass on it, especially for $5. If it was $1, I might have taken the risk, but fortunately it was just too much for the record. I found one record by Boz Scaggs. The sleeve is not very good shape. Probably gonna have to list it as acceptable, assuming that it plays. It won't go for a lot of money, but I'll probably double or triple my money on it. That was good, but then they literally had no good VHS tapes. They all seem to be the same ones. And the books, they have a really small book section. I didn't find one book worth reselling. And they're selling books for 20 cents a piece, 5 for $1. And I couldn't find even one. There was even one going for 10 or more dollars. I would have gladly spent $1 on it and just bought one book, but I didn't have anything worth buying. Ended up getting some random stuff like this. As seen on TV. My Fun fish cleaning tank. They had like 12, 15 of them. Most of them, the packaging was kind of messed up. This was the best, the one in best condition, and it is unopened. It's still sealed, and it's not going for a ton of money, but I got it for $2. The rank was pretty good, so this should move pretty fast. It's kind of big. It's not super heavy, but a little bit heavy. Decided to buy it and sell it quickly, make a few bucks off of it. I bought 2 of these. Stretch Genie, as seen on TV. They had a whole bunch of them, and these were $2 as well. And I'll make 2 or 3 times what I spent. And these are selling pretty fast as well. If they were selling really crazy fast, like the rank was staying under a couple thousand consistently, I might have bought more because I could flip them really quickly. But they'll probably sell fairly quickly, hopefully within a few weeks or a month or so, and I'll recoup my money. But that was all I bought. So that was kind of pathetic. And I hadn't been there since February, since the middle of February. And before that, I hadn't been there since January. When I went in February, I noticed that there wasn't very much new stuff as well. So this is a place I'm gonna have to go to probably every 3 or 4 months because it's just not worth it. Do you find that some thrift stores get new supply daily or weekly versus other ones that just, they're not seeing too much new stuff? It's important to know which thrift stores are restocking frequently or getting lots of new stuff, lots of new products, books, etc. on a daily or weekly basis versus the ones like the one I visited today that hardly or randomly seem to get new stuff. That's important. For me, I have a rotation of thrift stores and I go through them. I usually don't try to visit them too often because I like to see new stuff when I go there. And there's enough of them that I can manage to do that. It makes sense for me because I don't want to keep on seeing the same stuff. It's a waste of time. And I'd like to go back and always have new items to scan. So I make sure and wait at least a month or so for each thrift store. Since I go to thrift stores about 2 days a week, which is about 8 times a month, that means that I can rotate because I have at least 8 or so thrift stores around there that are good, non-Goodwill stores. Keep that in mind because sometimes if you're going back all the time, you might not see new stuff depending on the store. Time to change up the topic. The Amazon Seller app. Did you know that through the Amazon Seller app, you can look at all of your inventory, whether it's active or inactive? Pretty cool. I found that out a few weeks ago because I hadn't gone through the whole app to find out all the functions, but I stumbled upon it and found that it lists all the inventory, which was really cool because as I was outsourcing, I found a few products that I had already saved on Amazon Seller app as a favorite. And when I looked it up there on the live, through the app, I found that I had a listing. And I also found that my price was not very competitive anymore. So I went into the Amazon app, into inventory, searched for the item. You can search for it easily at the top there. And found it, and then just selected it and went in there and repriced it, saved it, and there you go. Same as on the website. It says it takes up to 15 minutes to go live on the site. And it was that simple. So that was a really cool function. That happened a couple times, which I thought was interesting. And because of that, now I know a little bit more about the app. So that's really cool. Some of the ways that the app can be good are clearly repricing is the biggest benefit to utilizing the inventory function on the app. You can also sort your inventory based upon age. So from oldest to newest, or newest to oldest. And then also based upon price. So you can sort it from the lowest price to the highest and vice versa, highest to the lowest. And then there's another one that has to do with quantity. If you have multiple copies or selling multiple copies of the same book or any other type of product. So there's a couple of sort options, and then also you can filter it based upon active or inactive products. The one thing that it is missing, or at least I feel is missing, that could be really big and really helpful is when you select one of your items to look at and to possibly reprice, it's got all the information about the item, which is great. The only thing you can change is the price, which is fine, but there's no way to look at that item live through the app. That would be really helpful because then it would help with repricing, so you can see what is the current state of affairs for that item and if you should lower the price to be more competitive, if you want to sell it quicker, or possibly raise the price as well. But that would be a huge help. If anybody at Amazon is watching this, which they probably never will, but that would be a good idea, I think. Do any of you use the inventory function on the Amazon app to help with repricing or anything else at all? So I thought that was a pretty cool function. Amazon needs to come up with more functions, more things that help the seller so that they can give us reasons to use their app, basically. Because overall, I like it. The other big thing I wish I could see on the app is if they had a link to Camel, 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 but I don't think they will ever do that because they don't endorse Camel, 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 or even say that Camel, Camel, Camel should be doing what they're doing. That's unfortunate, but you can always use another app like Profit Bandit or FBA Scan or something else that has that functionality built in. So that's a cool feature, and just wanted to let you know, just in case you didn't know about it, like I didn't know about it. Your inventory can be in your pocket. You don't have to be on your computer. You can just look up something real quick, do some research, find out if you have something already in stock, and it'll be really helpful as well as being able to reprice. I'm getting to know the app a little better, and it's proving to be helpful in some ways. And as always, remember, keep booking.